First and foremost, I'm going to start off to give the highest honor, glory, and all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, who teach you the well and taught me the truth out of the Bible, and amongst other things. Peace and salutations to the elect, scattered to all four corners of the earth, my fellow laborers who push in this work and word in truth and sincerity all across the globe. Shalom. This is your brother Talmayat from the GMS Holland branch, coming back at you with another lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So yeah, man, I was watching this video, and I was like, hey, I gotta do a lesson of this, because you see here, most women's biggest fear about the end of the world or society collapse is what man will do to them. And that is correct, man. When the society collapses, it doesn't matter what, every society, man. It doesn't happen yet here in the West, but this is something that will come to a city and a town and a country near to you, man. You see? And she's gonna explain it, because especially now when you hear the war drums are beating, and that the Third World War is really, or it's a fact. And basically we're already in the beginning stages of the Third World War. According to prophecy, we know that the MOTB, the CHIP has to be implemented first before this really gonna kicks off. But we hear these war drums beating, and we know for a fact that it is gonna come, you see. And when that is gonna happen, a lot of these females, especially now with your OTs, showing yourself, promiscuous lifestyles, everything what you're doing is gonna come to an end, and you ain't gonna be the one that is gonna do the choosing, because the cock carousel is gonna write you. Shout out to Elder Malcolm, because he always said that, man. And then you ain't gonna be in a position. And those with I don't need a man, and I'm an independent woman, but the boss biatch and all these things is gonna be a thing of the past, you see. In the day you're gonna be willing, and you're gonna need a man, you see. So before I play this video, let me read the scripture real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14, and it reads, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." You see? So the second woe is past, but the third woe cometh quickly. And woe means lamentations. Woe means war, man. You see? You see, like you can see here in the NLT, terror, because it is gonna be terror, because war is terror. You see? And we had the First World War, and after that the Second World War, and the Third World War, will come quickly. And we are in the beginning, like I was saying, we are already in the beginning stages of the Third World War, So the Lord is mustering all these nations onto the battle, you see. And you see all these countries, so like you see all these countries are joining together, the BRICS is forming allegiance, and all fulfilling biblical prophecy. So you cannot get around it. This is a thing that is going to happen. So let me play the video with no further ado. Bear with me.
If you ask women and girls what their main fear would be should the world end or society around them collapse, they're going to tell you that part of their fear is what men are going to do to them given the opportunity. And I think part of that is because women are walking around with the knowledge that what stops a lot of men from doing awful things to them is the idea that there might be a repercussion for them, for the man, if they were to be caught and found out, that society would know that they had done this thing, would judge them, that they would go to jail, like whatever. If you're a guy listening to this, I want you to think really carefully about some of the dudes that you know and what they would do to women and girls if they could guarantee that they would never be caught. There's a really poignant scene in The Walking Dead where one of the male characters says something like, if these guys find us, our men are going to be dead and our women are going to wish that they were. And as a former humanitarian aid worker, I was warned about this all the time. I was warned, like, if you go there and you are taken, they will kill the men, but what they will do to you is going to be so much worse. And also, as a humanitarian aid worker, I have been to countries and spoken to people who witnessed society collapse and the chaos around that because of like extreme weather events or natural phenomenon or even civil war. And the one thing that every one of those scenarios had was women and girls being raped and sexually assaulted. I went to Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake, and I also went to Pakistan after a flood happened in the same year. And in both countries, I spoke to women who were raped or sexually assaulted by men within the chaos, because men seized their opportunity to do something to these women and girls, knowing that it was highly unlikely, because it was chaotic, that they were going to be caught and held accountable for those actions. And the same thing happened when I went to Jordan a few years ago to speak to Syrian refugees. The women there told me of being raped and sexually assaulted when they were in Syria, when they were trying to escape the civil war, and also after they moved to Jordan and were living in refugee camps. Like, they were afraid to go to the toilet. They moved around in packs. Like, there was this knowledge in the back of their mind, like, there are men here who will seize the opportunity to do something to me because they don't feel like anything's going to happen to them as a result of doing that. Imagine being a man and only having to worry that the world might end or society might collapse, and not also having to worry about what the other gender will do to you if that happens. Like, some things are worse than death, and women are walking around with the knowledge that what keeps them safe is this tiny thread of a threat that men might pay the price if they do something like that. Once that's gone.
So yeah, man, he said a lot, and you saw the TikTok was like feminist, but all that feminist spirit and everything is gonna go out of the door, man. When there is no order, that is total chaos. There is no. You cannot dial one. In Holland it is 112. But I know in America it's 911. You cannot dial none of these, of these surface lines, for protection, or that there gonna be repercussion when you're gonna, that the police is gonna come. And that day, the police is worrying, to protect their own family and their own, man. You see, because we heading and entering in that time, man. That is what is gonna happen, man. You see. So there's gonna be no protection, and these men, these marauders, walking around and looting and graping and pillaging, they know that there ain't gonna be repercussion, because why? If you see saw the movie The Purge, you see it, man. There is nothing is gonna happen. She was talking about a scene out of The Walking Dead, like and said, like, one of the men said, like, if the man are really basically is gonna be killed, then it's gonna be worse for the women. Yeah, because she even was saying that it is gonna be worse for the women. There are more worse thing than death, because when you're gonna be passed around, and like we said, man, in that cock carousel, that is gonna ride you. You ain't gonna ride them, and you can't do the choosing and all kinds of, man that you in life you disregard them and you saw them like nothing. They're gonna ride you, man. Damn, even cannibalism and all these things are gonna happen, man. So this is a real future that is gonna happen when the Third World War is gonna break loose, man. You see, in the Western world, man. You see, and mainly in Babylon the Great, but also here in Europe, man. You see, it's gonna happen, man. So she said a lot. We're gonna play a little bit of video of the things that she said and break it down. But this is what is gonna come, man. That's why you women, matter of fact, let me get it, that are that are relaxed, and you're living in great folly. You especially the man that you did wrong. With your Title 4Ds, child support, bring them to court for nothing. Got a lot of baby daddies that you sent to jail, because he cannot pay the child support, and lie upon them. that they are how you say, that they are abusing you and all these things that you did falsely. It's the Lord is gonna make you pay for these things, man. And especially in that day, you women that did these things, the Lord has a payback for you, man. You ain't gonna escape the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. You see. So let me go to a few scriptures real quick. Let me jump to the book of Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13. And first, let me jump to start with 6. Yeah, judgment on the day of the Lord. So the day of judgment, when the third world war is gonna break loose, that is all judgment of the Lord, man. You see, it's the Lord is doing this, man. He's stirring up all these things. So how ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand; it shall come as destruction from the Almighty. So it's coming from Yahweh. You see, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. You see, so people, people, the day that is about to come, the man is gonna be, they're gonna be frozen. Their head, and the heart is he goes in the Hebrew words lap. So that their head, their mind is gonna be they're gonna bugged out that day, man. That means that melt like a meltdown. They're gonna be bugged out that day, man. You see, be in total fear. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as women that travailed. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. You see? Let me read it in NLT. And people are terrified. Pangs of anguish grip them like those of a woman in labor. Yeah, because that is what is going to happen. Like even the man, strong men are going to be in the day when the Lord bring his indignation. And indignation of the Lord is righteous anger upon the earth, man. You see? Through the Third World War, through the nuclear missiles, the chariots about to pop up. So it's gonna be total chaos. You see, so the man gonna be afraid. Like when a woman gives birth, to a child. It's coming with, it is see pushing it, and you see it in the face, man. You see. They look helplessly at one another, their faces aflame with fear, because that is what is going to happen. Because when the terror of the Lord is going to come upon, and especially the people of the Lord's curse, Idumea, also the Edomites, aka the so-called white man, they're going to be afraid, but also all these other nations, man. You see, but especially America, the virgin daughter of Babylon is a touch. So America didn't never went to these things. They was the one who was bringing war to these other countries and nations. So they gonna experience it multifold, manifold, if that is a word. They're gonna get it. The Lord is gonna give his righteous indignation upon them. The Lord is gonna punish them for the wickedness that they done upon the earth, man. You see, behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And that is the Lord's determination, man. You see, to destroy the wicked, man, the sinners, man. You see, and that was in the King James version. You see, for the stars of heaven shall be and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened, and his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. You see, because because when the war is the Third World War is gonna break loose, and especially America, aka Babylon the Great, is gonna be nuked by 200 million arrows, means terminal nuclear missiles, man. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. That is what is going to happen, done by these other nations. And you see the build-up of that war that is approaching very soon. You see, so You know, it's gonna be pitch black because the dark clouds will the clouds of the impacts of these terminal nuclear missiles, you know, they will darken the sky, man. You see? That is what is going to happen, man. It is going to be a terrible sight. It's going to be like the Lord said. It's going to be a day of gloominess. It's going to be darkness. You see, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lower the haughtiness of the terrible. And that is the Edomite, really the Edomites, aka the so-called white man. He's walking around proud. You see what he did with Iran. You see what he did with Gaddafi, and I'm going to make a lesson about it because they are so proud. Because why? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, so they feel that they have the means to do whatever they want with everybody, you know. Take your natural resources, you know, put countries against of a whole nation against themselves, you know, place a puppet leader over there and control the natural resources, you know, bring that democracy, and Esau's democracy is always brings you know, the skittle agenda, you know, all kinds of things, set the man against the women, breaking the nuclear family. That is the democracy that they are bringing, you know. So that is only destruction, you see. And the Lord is going to make an end of it, man, very soon. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, you see. So in that day, and that's why we always saying it, if you are not with the man of the Lord, you're gonna, so you know, and this is talking about the women, you know, in that day when you're gonna see that this is going to, you know, war is going to break loose. All that haughtiness, you know, your haughty women, you know, walking around with great brightness, thinking that you're all that because you've been taking care of the state, and you always can depend on a man to call 911, to do, you know, all these things are going to be you have no, if you have no cloak, you have no man who going to protect you. And really, a man of the Lord, you know, they're gonna be scarcely to be found, because you know you can find you know, a nigger of the streets, you know, but you ain't gonna find really a man of the Lord, because you go in that day, you're gonna be protected with the man of the Lord. Because why? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is protecting the man of the Lord, you know. He gonna guide them through all the hell that he's gonna, and his indignation that he's gonna bring upon this earth. You see, so you're gonna need the man of the Lord to protect you, man. You see, you see. So matter of fact, let me get this scripture real quick. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. You see. And in that day, several women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. You see, so that is what is going to happen, man. They're going to be like, all these women want to be with you, man, you know. And then especially when they can have your name, and, you know, they be with the man of the Lord, and they're going to cleave unto the man of the Lord, man. You see, and seven is completion. It does not mean that it's really going to be seven women, but it's going to be, so like, yeah, it's going to be a lot of women gonna cleave to or at least they're gonna try to cleave at the man of the Lord. So that's why the sisters who are following, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai first and foremost, but also the man, because the man is the head of the women. You know, these you sisters who are sincere, you know, hey, in the day, the Lord is gonna take care of you, man. And you got to believe that strongly, because the Lord know who are his sincere, who are his sheep, man. You see, he know who are his sincere people, man, you know, and also the women, man, who are really sincere, man. The Lord is going to take care of you, you see. And that day, no women gonna be like, oh, you have two, or you have three women, man. You're gonna be glad, man. That day, man. You ain't gonna care about that, man. You know, you're gonna be glad that you can be one of these women, you know, that is gonna be protected and can take hold of, you know, of a man of the Lord, man. You see? So let me go back. You see, and I'm gonna read till 16. Of yeah, let me read till 16. Yeah, I'm gonna jump to 16, verse 16 for time's sake. Their children also shall be. Let me read 15. Salakia. Yeah. Yeah, let me read 14 till 16. And it shall be as a chase row, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. And that is also what is going to happen, and you see it already, and it's happening in America also here, when shit is gonna hit the fan, excuse me for my language, what is gonna happen, all these migrants that come in over here, and especially Babylon the Great, they're gonna turn back to their own nations to be safe. You see, they're gonna turn back to their own people. You see, they're gonna flee America, they're gonna flee Babylon the Great, man. You see, that is what is going to happen. They ain't going to stay there. They're going to be among their own people for shelter, and have a form of safety. You see, so everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So the Lord ain't gonna spare no one, man. And if and especially you Jake, you Eves, you joined with these other nation, and mainly also with Esau, Edom, you have children with them, you bring forth another nation. So if you're gonna be found also, you Eves, with one of these other nations, the Lord, if you join hand to hand with them, the Lord is gonna destroy you, man. That is what is gonna happen. That is gonna be your lot. You see. And I'm thinking immediately about Candace Owens is an example, So, with your tear babies, if you are joined onto them, you're gonna be thrust through, man. You see. Verse 16, the children also shall be dashed to pieces, and this is the point, before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravaged. And that is war, man. You see, these are the how you call it, the devastation and the horror of war. You see, this is what is going to happen, man. They're gonna be ravaged. The Lord ain't gonna play, man, that day, man. Matter of fact, I want to go to that word ravage. Let me look it up. You see, the word ravage goes into, let me see, ravage. The word ravage goes into the word. Let me see. Shakaba. Shakaba. If I'm correct. Shakab. Of Shakab. Shakab. The word goes in Shakab. And that means ravage in the Hebrew, Shakab. And it goes to lie down. You see? To lie down in death. To lane with, let me see, to be laying with sexually, and that is really what is going to happen, but it's going to be by force, man. You see. And in the strong definition, let me read it. In the strong definition, it's going to be the primitive rule to lie down for rest, sexual connection, disease, or any purposes. You see, let me see. Ravage. Let me look that word up, man, in the Anthem Online real quick. Let me see. Ravage. Ravage. That means really grape. But let me put it on Anthem Online. Slovakia. Ravage goes into the word ravage goes into, let me see, ravage. In the late 1300s means ravishing, to seize someone by violence, carry away a person, especially a woman, from old friend Rafis, present participle Salakia, stem of Rafir, to seize, to take away hastily, from vulgar Latin rapir, from Latin rapere, to seize and carry off, carry away suddenly, hurry away, see rapid, since earliest uses in English sometimes implying subsequent violations, that meaning the meaning transferred, commit, grape upon, is recorded mid 15th century in Middle English, also to plagiarize, to transport someone mentally into ecstasy, related ravishing. You see? So that is what it is, man. That means, to see someone by violence, carry away a person, especially a woman, and it goes into grape, man. You see, commit grape upon. You see the meaning transferred to commit grape upon, man. That is what it is, man. You see? Yeah, man. And ravishing, an act of plundering, theft, especially an act of carrying off a woman by force, especially, here it is, for the purpose of grape, early 14th century. So that is ravage, man. You see? So that is what is going to happen with a lot of women. They're going to be ravaged. They're going to be graped. You see? They're going to be taken violently away. You see? And that is what this woman was afraid of, man. And that is the times that we're going to enter, man. There's going to be no 911. There's going to be no one that is going to help and these women. And that's why you see, and she was talking about, she was a helper, voluntary helper or something in Haiti and Pakistan and Salakia, and all these the women was talking to her that they have no, there was nobody can help, that they was afraid to go to the toilet, afraid that something gonna happen to them, man. And these times are coming, man, to the western hemisphere. You see, these times are coming, man. Men, because a lot of women, like I was saying, put a lot of men into jail. Did a lot of wicked things onto men, and these men, when they are released, and they are out there, out of jail, and they know women did that to them. A lot of them are gonna take their lick back, man. That means they're gonna take revenge. You see? So that is what is gonna happen, man. So this is a thing that is going to happen soon, man. You see, so that's why you women that are at ease, don't be that, man. The Lord said it, man. You see, that's why, let me get that scripture also. Let me go over there. You see, we stay in Isaiah, man. Isaiah is a beautiful book, man. I love the Isaiah, man. So much judgment, future judgments, and everything, man. This is Isaiah chapter 32. And let me go straight to the point at verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, you careless daughters, give ear to unto my speech. You see? Because this is what is going to happen, especially Eve, man. You see? The beat-up, man. You see? The Lord, hey, you are at ease in Babylon. You think that this is going to go forever like this. But, hey, man, you're gonna soon be uncomfortable. And you see it if now, with Trump, he pulling away all kinds of benefits of them, strip them away, and a lot of them have in tantrums, going crazy. And that is funny to see. You beat up. You live in too much. You was too much comfortable, man, in Babylon, and the Lord is showing you now that, hey, it is done, man. You see. So, verse 10, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. You see? Because you are careless, man. You see? There and gonna be no restoration. Yeah, you the beat up in the new kingdom to come, you're gonna be all right. But first, you on this side, you're gonna get your judgment, man. Because we know you a lot of two-thirds ain't gonna be repent, man. You see. And the Lord is handing out judgment left to right, and especially to the B-Dub, man. I was watching a video of the elder Karatasa from GMS Vegas sit down, you know, and you know that women fell from a yacht twerking on a car, you know, all been deleted, man. And Kalala Yaba Shem Yashai, because why? You women are too haughty, man. You see, you think you can get away with everything, man. You see, and really, man, back in the days, when the Lord was with us, the Lord is sanction these things, man. Because a lot of people think the Lord is not like that, and He not sanction it. This is coming out of your own mouth. Let me show you that the Lord always was with that, man. You see, so let me get it. Because that is one of the rules, but we didn't do it like how Esau doing it in profanity and in wickedness, but hey, grape is something that is happening, that and that is with the spoils of war. If you are entering into another nation, that is not of your nation, you have the right, to off the meal. And like that was funny, because that is what the woman was saying, that in the Walking Dead. Matter of fact, let me get it before I read this scripture.
Would do to women and girls if they could guarantee that they would never be caught. There's a really poignant scene in The Walking Dead where one of the male characters says something like, if these guys find us, our men are going to be dead and our women are going to wish that they were. And as a former humanitarian aid worker, I was warned about this all the time. I was warned, like, if you go there.
Yeah, so you see, that is what she said, like, hey, man, if the men are not there to protect anymore, then it is done. And really, with us, it was always like that. Like, when the Lord was sending us to war, to a city, or do something, the Lord always was like, hey, man, the Lord always was like, hey, kill, if you want to take a female, women from the spoils of war, because women are spoils of war, then you have to off all the male, man. Matter of fact, let me get it, man, because this was the point. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 10. And this was the order that the Lord gave us, man. These are the rules of war. When you come as nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. You see. So first you offer peace, not like Trump did, like, hey, we may have a peace talk, and meanwhile I still sneak in, and bomb everything, and nah, man, that is not like that. That's why when the Israelites is gonna rule, man, ain't gonna be like that anymore, man. Everything's gonna be in righteously, man. Everything gonna be righteous when we're gonna do things, man. Ain't gonna be, doing things the hypocrite way, man. You see. So in the NLT, as you approach a town to attack, you must first offer its people terms of for peace. You see, so the Lord is with that, man. You see, yeah. Let me read in the NLT further. If they accept your terms and open the gates to you, then all the people inside will serve you in forced labor. That means slavery. So the man, the female, everybody gonna go in captivity when you offer them peace and they are accepted and open the gates. So they let you in the town. They said, okay, we are accepting it. You see. But if they refuse to make peace and prepare to fight, you must attack the town. So if they are bucking up and said, nah, man, we ain't gonna surrender, then we gonna fight, man. Then it's gonna be war. You see? Yeah. When the Lord, your power, hands the town over to you, Use your sword to kill every man in town. You hear what it said? To kill every man in town. You see, like the women say, like, that scene from The Walking Dead. You see? And this is normal. This is how things go. The things are going in war. That's why it's also not natural if a woman, is geared up in warrior gear to fight against men. When a woman she's taken, she gonna get raped, man. You see, the man gonna do horrible things to her, man. You see, then she gonna wish she is dead, like the woman was saying, man. You see, so it is not natural that the woman serves in war. That's why back in the days, the man was the one that fights war, and also the man there, the one that get off, man, in war, man. You see. But you may keep for yourself all the women, children, livestock, and all plunderer. You may enjoy the plunder of your enemies that the Lord your power has given you. You see, so the Lord is sanctioned it. So if the Lord sanctioned it, you see, the Lord is the one who said you can do it, man. You see. The Lord is love. The Lord is love. But when the Lord sanctions things, and He create the King's heart is in the Lord's hands. He is responsible that they are going to war, the Third World War, all these things. He's the one who create. He's the one who really, how you say it, yeah, I cannot get it right. He's the one that is directing it. Salakia, that is what he's doing, man. You see. So the Lord said that is normal, man. You see. This is what the Lord is doing, man. You see. So they are spoils. But let me read it in the King James Version. Let me read it. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, there shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy power hath given thee. And let me go to the word spoil. Let me go into that. Let me get it. The word spoil. The word spoil. Get it here. Spoil goes to the word. The Hebrew word is shalal. Shalal. The Hebrew word is shalal, and it goes into prey, plunder, spoil, booty. You see, booty. Well, let me go to the strong definition. Again, booty, prey, spoil. And let me get that word booty. The booty. Let me look that word up. The booty. That goes into... let me get it. So, okay. Booty. Let me get it in the etymology line, man. The word booty goes into plunder, taken from an enemy in war. From Old French boutin, booty, from a Germanic source akin to Middle Low German boot, exchange. It has been influenced in the form and sense toward profit again, were taken by force or not. And that is what is happening, man. Yeah, the meaning female burqa said a sex object. Yeah. But, this is really the point, man. You see? It's some plundering, man. You take the spoils, and the women and also these children are part of the spoils. And when you kill the male, you can take one of these wives for yourself, but that is also rules of wars, with what the Hebrew Israelites are engaging in, that is all laws, man. The law, we ain't lawless. That, the Lord said how we have to do these things, man. You see, because there is also rules of engagement in war. You have a protocol also how you are go about these things, man. You see, and the Lord gave us all these things, man. So matter of fact, let me go back. So you see that is plunder, is spoil, you see, by force. and that is the word shalal. So let me go back, and let me read this also real quick. So lucky I didn't want to make it too long, but you know how it is, man. It's all through the spirit. So on the edify. Let me go to because I was talking about the laws. Yeah, let me go. I can go right here. To the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, chapter 21. You see, because there's also rules of engagement for these things, how you do it, man, when you taking spoils of war, when you take a women, from these other nations. So let me go straight to the point. Domestic relations. So the Lord said, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy power had delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. You see? So it is lawful. The Lord sanctified it that you can have a woman like that for spoils, man. You see? You can have her, you can take her, like we was reading, because why? The male is killed. So when the male is killed, and that is the sanctuary by the Lord, then you can take one of these wives. You see? You see? And verse 12, I'm gonna read till 14. Let me see. I'll read till 14. Verse 12. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. You see, so she have to shave her head, because this goes all into into mourning. She gonna mourn her maybe her the parents, because everybody is deleted in war. Let me say it like that. You see. So the cut her nails, shave her head, and she's gonna be bald head, and that's why you see also, yeah, that is another thing, but yeah, let me leave it, man. Verse 13, and he shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. You see, and that is how she gonna mourn her father and the mother. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. You see, so she gonna be your wife, man. You see. So you got to take care of her, man. So, because now you are one. So not like how Esau did it, engraving, the women on the plantation, leave these mulatto babies and leave her by herself and not go anymore with her. Nah, man. If you do that, you have to keep her for yourself, man. You see. But Esau did wicked, man. He even in front of the man, took a wife, and the man still living and see that, That's why you have to pay, man. You Edomites, man, because you are wicked to the core of the things that you did. You see? So you have to take care of her, man. Now she's your wife, you see? So, and it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. Yeah, that means you already went into her, and if you are into her, you married her, man. This is your woman, you see. But if you don't want her anymore, the Lord is like, okay, if you don't want her anymore, let her go, man. You see. And really, because she was a lesser wife, like a concubine, you took her from spoils of war. You cannot treat her as a slave anymore, man. To sell her off to somebody else or for other men. Now, man, you have to let her go free. Now she's free, and that is the way you have to do it. So it is rules of engagement is in these things. So if you're doing it like that, then you do it in the proper way, man. And that is very important, That is what the Lord requires of us. And Esau did it on a horrible, wicked way, man. You see, with no rules, totally lawless. So that is a payment is also coming for that. But this is the way you go about it, man. So yeah, man. So this is, these women that are at ease, Hey, it's gonna be terrible, man. You see? And this is all allowed by the Lord, because why? The Lord is a the Lord is a man of war. Matter of fact, let me close out with that. You see? Because the people think the Lord is, it's all love, it's all love, but the Lord is with war, man. We was reading it, man. This is Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. You see? The Lord is a man of war. He is the one who doing these things. The third world war that is about to come, or all these wars that we see, and the Lord sanctioned it. Nothing escaped the Lord. So the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So yeah, man, the Lord is a man of war. So the war is coming. So you women that are at ease, you're gonna see soon. You're gonna see. You're gonna be. You're gonna be messed up, man. Really. And I say it really soft, but you're gonna be messed up, man. You're gonna be in panic mode. You're gonna go crazy, man. You see, like again, shout out to Elder Malcolm when the cock carousel is about to ride you, man. You see, and it ain't gonna be fun this time, man. You ain't gonna do the choosing, the picking. No, man, the picking and the choosing. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. With that, I want to give the highest honor, glory, and all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rahakodash. Shalom.
Main fear would be, should the world end or society around them collapse, they're going to tell you that part of their fear is what men are going to do to them given the opportunity. And I think part of that is because women are walking around with the knowledge that what stops a lot of men from doing awful things to them is the idea that there might be a repercussion for them, for the man, if they were to be caught and found out, that society would know that they had done this thing, would judge them, that they would go to jail, like whatever. If you're a guy listening to this, I want you to think really carefully about some of the dudes that you know and what they would do to women and girls if they could guarantee that they would never be caught. There's a really poignant scene in The Walking Dead where one of the male characters says something like, if these guys find us, our men are going to be dead and our women are going to wish that they were. And as a former humanitarian aid worker, I was warned about this all the time. I was warned, like, if you go there and you are taken, they will kill the men, but what they will do to you is going to be so much worse. And also, as a humanitarian aid worker, I have been to countries and spoken to people who witnessed society collapse and the chaos around that because of like extreme weather events or natural phenomenon or even civil war. And the one thing that every one of those scenarios had was women and girls being raped and sexually assaulted. I went to Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake, and I also went to Pakistan after a flood happened in the same year. And in both countries, I spoke to women who were raped or sexually assaulted by men within the chaos, because men seized their opportunity to do something to these women and girls, knowing that it was highly unlikely, because it was chaotic, that they were going to be caught and held accountable for those actions. And the same thing happened when I went to Jordan a few years ago to speak to Syrian refugees. The women there told me of being raped and sexually assaulted when they were in Syria, when they were trying to escape the civil war, and also after they moved to Jordan and were living in refugee camps. Like, they were afraid to go to the toilet. They moved around in packs. Like, there was this knowledge in the back of their mind, like, there are men here who will seize the opportunity to do something to me because they don't feel like anything's going to happen to them as a result of doing that. Imagine being a man and only having to worry that the world might end or society might collapse, and not also having to worry about what the other gender will do to you if that happens. Like, some things are worse than death. And women are walking around with the knowledge that what keeps them safe is this tiny thread of a threat that men might pay the price if they do something like that. Once that's gone,